You may be wondering to yourself, who is this bald man of whom's video that I've just clicked on? So allow me a second to introduce myself. My name is Nick Sean. I've made millions of dollars trading Forex, crypto, and stocks over the past 8 years of trading. And in this video, I'm literally going to just show you everything I do. I'm going to do my analysis right now. We're going to go straight into the charts and have a look. And if you'd like to follow my analysis on a daily basis, I have a free Telegram channel with 61,000 members in it. You can click the first link in the description, or I'll put it in the pinned comment, and you can just literally follow my analysis every day. Now, I've been known for keeping things simple. I can't do the accent the whole video. I have a very boring American non-accent, and so yeah, it's just really boring. It would be very interesting if I had an accent. Unfortunately, if you have to leave the video right now because there's no more accent, I completely understand. I would leave the video as well. But if you want to see everything I literally do, here, we're going to get into it right now. Now, first I'm going to go over the trades that I think that are very likely to work out. Now, one trade that I'm in literally right now, I have called this in my group here, Nick's Trades. So I'm in this trade right now. GBP Canadian dollar. This is a group called MFX Nick's Trades. This is where I call all my trades out live. In the free Telegram channel, I share all my analysis and everything that I'm looking to take. I put a little like motivational, not just motivational, but mainly just stuff in the free Telegram to actually help you like gain traction. There's no fluff. There's no BS. There's not a bunch of crazy complicated market analysis. I don't understand any of that. Over the past 6 profitable years of my total 8 years of trading, the past 6 profitable years has just been me really just boiling things down to the only things that matter. And that's what I'm really focusing on. So yeah, you could join this free Telegram channel. You can follow all this live. I post the screenshots of like trading analysis and everything in here. It's a way for you to kind of see what I'm doing. Very simple. I don't use indicators. I don't use support resistance. I don't use anything. Look, let me show you exactly what I do. So GBP Canadian dollar, I am short right now. I'm short AF right now with 20 standard lots right here. And I think price will go down. Now, why do I think price will go down? Keep in mind, every single trade's different. I'm just showing you from my subjective experience what I personally do. Here's why I think price is going to go down. Price has gone up, then it's gone down, then it's gone up, then it's gone down, and now it's gone up. Now, you might think I'm a genius, and you might want to give me a gold sticker for saying, oh, you think it's going to go down. Seems pretty reasonable. Now, how do I have the risk structure prepared for this trade? The risk structure is just the way that you control risk. I've opted to use a stop loss. So I have my entries right here, a total of 20 standard lots broken up into 3 positions. And I think price will go down, but I've used a wide enough stop loss, risking a total of $40,000 on this trade, so that if price goes against me a little bit, it can still come up here to the next zone where I may or may not add. It kind of depends on what might happen. But I've given myself enough room with the stop loss all the way up here for 2 things. Number one, this trade is very unlikely to actually go and hit the stop loss before I can get out at either profit or break even or a smaller loss. That's the first thing. My stop loss is very unlikely to hit. And on top of that, the likelihood that price is going to fall into the take profit at some point, especially if it reverses immediately, that is essentially a much higher percentage chance that will occur if I wait for things to set up in the way that my intuition recognizes for the past 8 years of experience trading. My intuition is to the point where I can click through pairs and I'm like, nope, 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 nope. Then I get to a pair and within seconds, I will know like, oh, this looks good. I think I'm going to take this. Now that little magic skill set, it's not really magic at all. It just takes years of experience to do this. If you'd like to learn how to start doing this, go and watch the last video on my YouTube channel. It's just the video right before this. You can go. You may be watching this a year from now or more, but I totally get it. But it's a video showing like, if I were a beginner, here's where I'd start, things like that. So price has gone up far enough. I just think it's going to go down. I've used a wide stop loss, risking 40,000, and a take profit right here of 1-to-1. If this goes and hits this profit target, it'll be almost 40K. I think it'll be like 38 or 39, but it's pretty much a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio for my entries here, giving it enough room to go a little bit against me if it wants before it falls, and it allows me to just participate in this. Another cool part about this is that it doesn't really take that long to do, right? This is the 4-hour chart. Price price takes a bit to get moving on the 1 hour and 4 hour, and especially if you're using daily. I kind of float between 15, 1 hour, 4 hour. I don't use any specific one time frame for any specific thing. There's people that get like, it is the bearish engulfing candle on the 4 hour time frame, and I'm going to put my entry with a stop just above and a target at a 1 to 3. I don't do any of that shit. I just look at the charts, I put everything together, and I ask myself, what do I think is likely to occur? And I just kind of use the totality of the circumstances and context to make the trading decisions. So I think price on GCAD has gone up far enough, and I think it's going to fall. That is the whole analysis. So CHF JPY, the same sort of thing. If you look, most people would call this an uptrend, right? You know, unless we have some sort of, you know, vision impairment that would prevent us from seeing that price is going up and down, but kind of having a little channeling move to the upside. Some would call this an uptrend channel. You know, you call it whatever the hell you want to call it, right? It's going up and down and up and down. Here's the way I'm looking at it. Price consistently is making higher highs, then having nice pullbacks, making higher lows. So higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. If price goes up here, I've got my alert here sitting around 1.77. You can see right there. If price can go up here and make a higher high, I will most likely get short, assuming that the context is still appropriate at that time. There are times where I won't sell immediately if price does this, like if there's like a news event and price is like spiking through the zone with a huge bullish candle that's significantly bigger than the previous few candles. Weird circumstances like that, I won't immediately get into a trade. But if the totality of the circumstances remain appropriate, the market's still pretty steady state and price gets up there and nothing weird or strange or odd is happening from my experience, I'll probably get short. My stop loss will look something like that. It'll be like far enough where it's unlikely to get hit. And my target will be somewhere down here where it's a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. And I think that's reasonable. If price goes all the way up here, usually, like, look, price pulls back and it goes up and down and kind of zigzags back and forth. It usually doesn't just go straight up or straight down for like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pips with no pullbacks whatsoever, right? So normally after price makes new highs, especially in this context where it's a pretty consistent higher high, higher low type of pattern, it generally just has a pullback. Now, with this entry, I limit my downside because price would have to literally rocket straight against me and go all the way there for me to immediately take a stop out. Now, can that happen? Yes, obviously it can happen. To me, statistically, that happens 10 to 15% of the time. However, 85 to 90% of the time, depending on how much data you look at, this is all tracked live in my group where I call all my trades live. I've made $170,000 counting last week. I made 180K and then I lost 10K last week. So it's like $170,000 in profit. Plus we got a trade in profit. So, you know, we'll see where it goes this coming week. But with the 85 to 90% accuracy, I can actually have trades that end up in some amount of profit, meaning they will not lose. In fact, over the course of the past 3-4 months, 3.5, I think 3.5, 4 months, I have only actually lost 3 trading opportunities out of like 26, 27. So I have like almost a 90% win rate right now. It's pretty freaking ridiculous. And like I said, this is all tracked live. Like if you subscribe to this product, you could see like literally everything in here. You can scroll back through all the history. You could track my P&L, my wins, my losses. You could literally see everything. I share literally everything in here. It's very transparent, very straightforward, and also it's very simple and easy to follow. So when price goes up here, I'm going to probably be selling, and it still gives me room because of the distance of the stop loss for price to kind of move against me. So then let's say it moves against me halfway to the stop, then it starts falling there. I can still usually end the trade in some amount of profit. Now it might be halfway to the profit target. So instead of making like 40 or 50 grand, however much it is I risk on this, if this sets up, I might only make half of that, right? I might make like 20, 25 grand. But it's still having like almost 90% of trades end in some amount of profit. That's a really cool feeling. So this is what I'm going to be looking for on CHF JPY this coming week. Same story on NZD JPY. I've got some entries last week, but price kept ranging and going sideways, so I ended up closing them at break even. This was kind of a frustrating situation because it would have ended up starting to go in profit. I'm going to find it for you right here. NZD JPY. The price was going sideways. It was actually very funny. All these trades were in like a $17,000 profit, and they came back and I closed them at break even, then it would have continued into profit. You cannot predict everything all the time. Here's the NZD CHF and NZD JPY trades. I'm trying to find this shit right here. Where was it? It was this. So This was CHF. Here's the NZDJPY. So that's where we originally entered, right? Right at the tippy top. It was this right here. Why did I enter? Let's do some very genius professional trading, non-gambling analysis, right? Like totally like 100% professional. This is how the hedge funds trade, guys. You ready? I'm going to show you. You don't need no Wagyu beef, bullish, institutional, order block, smart money concept, candlestick, entry pattern. This is how the institutions are actually trading. You've been manipulated and lied to this whole time. Ready? Goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, and it went up. So therefore, I've made the prediction that it might go down. Gold star for me. You can send me a gold sticker in the mail because of my genius trading strategy. So yeah, I just think it's gone far enough to the upside. I think it's made a higher high. I think it's likely to go down. My trade's risk structure looked something along the lines of this right here. Why are we even speculating? Let's just go and look at the actual trade. So stop loss was at 99.3. Target was at 93.66. It was about a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. I risked 20, 30K on this. So yeah, it went into some nice profit initially, but again, it came back. Like this trade alone was in like $5,000 of profit. It actually went into more profit after this, but when it came back to the entries, it didn't look, something seemed weird about it. I ended up closing it at break even right here, right? So I entered, it came down a little bit and then it started to go back up. So I just closed it right there. Then the next day it dropped again and I was like, okay. And then it came back to the entries and I was like pretty sure it was going to knock out the highs and I was going to re-enter here around 98. Why? Just because, I mean, look, it's really freaking overextended. Why not, right? If you can enter up there, still have a wide stop, reasonable profit target, it just becomes a better entry. And I was able to avoid the drawdown on the first position with a break even. I was wrong. That didn't happen. You know, since I don't have a crystal ball and I can't predict where the market's going to go completely 100% of the time, even if I have a high percentage chance of doing it, high percentage probability that I can, it's still like you just can't predict. And right, and this could still go up. Like we just don't know. It dropped for the third time on Friday before market closed. So yeah, like the last bit of New York session ended up dropping. I don't know where the hell this is going to go, but here's what I'm waiting for on this pair. I will not be FOMOing in now. It completely screws up the risk structure. Let me show you. If I enter now and have my stop all the way up there and my target here at a 1-to-1, this becomes a very difficult risk structure because you can't really target past that area. Like we're not trying to be a hero here and target the previous low or a new low, just because the context is that price is making higher lows. So we don't want to target past that, in my opinion. So that's where the target would have to be. But to do that, to get a 1-to-1 risk reward on this trade, to just make it viable, right? Like if you're just using 1-to-1, you're at least going to have a 50% win rate if price goes to stop or target. Plus, if you have experience like me, then you can increase your win rate 60, 70, 80, almost freaking 90% in some cases, like myself. Like this takes a long time and you're very unlikely to do this. 90% of you watching this video will fail in trading because trading is risky and most people lose money. And it just is the case. This is an incredibly difficult thing to do. However, if I enter right there, it just kind of screws up the risk structure. What I like better is to wait for price to go all the way up there. Now it's already extended more. The market is already dying for a pullback. Then on top of that, you can have an even wider invalidation while still having a reasonable profit target, right? Because this is very modest, right? Price could come all the way down there and still technically make a higher low and go up. That's a very modest take profit. Like it doesn't have to travel far. What do you have to do? You have to not be and you have to wait. You just have to be patient. You cannot be an ungrateful F. You have to like wait for price to just go, and you only take trades where you think it presents a good viable risk structure. Now you're going to learn all this with experience. Everything I'm saying is just subjective here, and ultimately it's just all my opinion. You go read the comments of this video, you will see tons of people saying, no, this is kind of stupid, this would never work, it's not that simple, you need to trade like the banks, you need to focus on the institutional liquidity, order block, demon candle, bullish, flaming candlestick entry strategy, because that is the best one with a 1-to-69 risk to reward ratio. Keep in mind, 90% of the comments you see on this video and every trading YouTube video, 90% of the comments are left by people who are not profitable. Why? When you look at the stats, about 90% of people don't make money or they lose money. So like less than 10% of people are actually even profitable to begin with. And then an even smaller, diminishing, tiny, low single-digit % of people are actually profitable enough to make an income from trading. This is hard. Just take it with a grain of salt. Most of the comments you're seeing, 90% of them are people giving their opinions that are not profitable. So just be very careful. And I'm just saying, I have a track record. I've been trading live for like 6 years. You can literally go and see back in the Telegram channel all the way into 2018. That's when I started this channel. As I'm making this video right now, it's been almost 6 years since I've been running this channel and sharing my analysis and trades and documenting my results live. It's difficult to find people to listen to here in this niche, and it's even more difficult when someone tells you that there's like some sort of secret in this complicated, nuanced thing that you have to buy their course to learn. I teach everything I do publicly for free on YouTube and on my Telegram channel, and the only thing I charge for is calling out my trades live right now. That's literally it. If you just want to watch me trade live and take all the trades in real time, we've got people in here. I'm not guaranteeing you anything, but just from what people have showed me, and I've posted this in the Telegram, I posted the results, people have showed me that they're making thousands of dollars following my trades. I had one client made $100,000 a month and a half ago on an AUD/JPY trade that I took. The dude had already made tens of thousands of dollars following my previous trades. He risked 90K on one of these trades I called. Absolutely insane. And then when it went into profit and he made a little over a 1-to-1, made $100,000 in like less than 12 hours. It was absolutely ridiculous. There's plenty of other people though who have showed me making 30, 40, 50, 60K over the course of 2 to 3 months of following my trades in there. Again, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I am just telling you what people have showed me. Unless these people are lying to me, and I posted the screenshots here on Telegram. You can scroll up further. You can see some of the stuff that people have said. This is one guy. So some guy named Asmek, thank you for being a client, Asmek. Really appreciate you. He said, I'm doing this. I started this account with $800 and made over $2,500 in profit. He's trading with this broker, Simple FX, and he said it's a live account. So he made $2,000 over the course of a couple weeks. And again, this group that I charge $250 a month. If I call one trade the whole month and the one trade works and you risk only $250 on it, that kind of covers the subscription fee. Again, I'm not guaranteeing you anything. Trading's extremely risky. Most people lose money. I'm not calling trades telling you what to do. I'm just calling the trades that I personally take, as evidenced by me actually showing my live trading terminal. And I literally, whenever I call a trade, I show every single thing, like literally the entry, meaning the chart image, and as well as my terminal, so you can see the balance, the equity, the free margin and available margin, and how much margin I'm using, and the position sizes and the exact entries and everything. I show literally all of it. So that's like, if you want some level of transparency that's almost freaking unprecedented here in the trading niche, I don't know, consider the Nick's Trades Group. That's the only thing I charge for. Everything else, you can learn everything I do for literally for free. It's not hard. I have people who follow me on my Telegram channel and on this YouTube channel for years. They've never been a client, and that's fine. They learn from everything that I post in here. So this is the end of the glamorous analysis. You'll notice we've only got through 3 pairs right here. That's all I got. That's all I'm looking for this week. Everything else, I personally just don't see anything. Euro CHF is kind of floating sideways. Look, we'll click through this. I'll show you. I don't see anything on GBP CHF. Some people will say buy. I struggle to, because where's the risk structure, right? Below these lows? Well, what if price goes a little bit lower and then maybe like bounces at that low? So then you'd want to stop loss underneath the low. So, but what if price goes below the low? When price breaks lows and makes a new low, that's the most likely place it is to reverse at. So that would mean that if you're getting into this trade and, in my opinion, wanting to prevent the likelihood of the stop loss being hit, you'd have to have a stop all the way down there, and you'd have to have a target all the way up here for a 1-to-1. You're risking 650 pips to go for 650 pips. And then if you just put your stop loss close like that, like underneath one of the recent lows here, it just makes it harder because you have a higher loss rate. I just find like I get better results if I try to do everything I can to like not have the stop hit. So I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait until price is extended so far in one direction that I'm like, okay, it's got to pull back at some point, to technically 85 to 90% of the time based on my win rate that you can look for yourself in Nick's Trades. If you join and just scroll back through all the history, you can see for yourself what the win rate is, and you could probably calculate all this and put it in a spreadsheet so that you can figure out exactly what my results are as far as number of trades, win rate, duration of trades, things like that. But I don't think this is a good risk structure, so nothing here on GBP CHF. NZD CAD, some people were telling me that they sold last week. It looks decent in my opinion, but to be honest, we have such a strong uptrend right now. I wouldn't want to buy on this pullback because this is where it gets really weird and subjective, right? My intuition, my subjective discretion, my price action discernment that my brain tells me just looking at this right here, without being able to articulate it and communicate it in words or rhetoric or linguistics or dialectic conversation. I have no words to describe my intuitions that tell me whether or not something is quote unquote a good trade or quote unquote a bad trade. It is simply something that comes through experience. So while I do not have a sexy, long, super, very fine explanation about why I don't want to take this trade or why it doesn't look good to me, I will tell you, in fact, that I don't think it looks good. And that is all I can leave you with. And perhaps, you will develop this type of intuition and subjective opinions about what you think price action will do based on years of experience as well. Yeah, it's kind of hard. I don't think it looks good, though. It looks shady to me. Something looks sketchy. I will tell you, though, I will be looking to sell if price can rocket up to here relatively quickly. If we can do something like that, I'll look to sell that. That's a kind of a flat round number, 0.86. It's also maybe it's a resistance zone, kind of a shady resistance zone. Probably wouldn't even call it a resistance zone, but what I can tell you is if we have a quick spike up to that area, that would be, in my opinion, a high enough price to be like, okay, price is overextended, I'll sell it. I would not look to sell things if they happen like this. If it goes like this, looks something like that, then gets up there, I probably wouldn't do that. It would have to be like a quick kind of triumphant spike up to that zone. That, in my opinion, looks better than the prior. So we'll look for that. AUD CHF, similar to the other CHF pairs. AUD CAD 2 rangy. The JPY pairs, so most of them, AUD JPY, NZD JPY, GBP JPY, Euro JPY, all the JPY pairs, they all look decent. I just think NZD JPY looks the best because we've actually knocked out the high. And if we could continue even effing further to 98.0, just about, right? So this is 97.9. So 98.0, I think that would present such an amazing, sexy opportunity to sell at 98. So I've got my alert currently sitting up there at 98 right now. I just think the risk structure would be much better because it's already knocked out the highs. A lot of these other JPY pairs like 80 JPY, they're still kind of sitting at the high. So some of you will be like, but bro, it's a resistance zone, bro. It's a double top, bro. Price is going to bounce, bro. Put a stop loss above, bro. The thing here is that price is making higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows. To me, it just seems kind of disingenuous to say, yeah, bro, it's going to bounce right there. I think it's just more reasonable to say, nah, man, price is probably going to make a higher high. And even if it doesn't, that's fine, right? I missed the trade. Cool. No big deal. But if it does, is what I'm saying, I think that presents a better risk structure. I think that presents a better entry, less likelihood for loss. It's more strong. You get your tank top on. You're like, yeah, bro, I'm waiting for a sell around, let's say 107.0. If you wait for something like that, look at how much, look at how much easier the risk structure is. I'm going to grab the short position tool. We're going to say we enter at let's say 107, right? So way up here. It goes all the way up there really fast. We can enter there, move the stop to where it's very unlikely to get hit. But then your profit target, as long as it's a 1-to-1, that's very modest. That is very, 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 very modest. You're not trying to, quote unquote, be a hero, right? If price goes all the way up there really quick from where it's at right now, look at that. How much freaking further is it going to go, right? Perhaps it'll go maybe a third of the way to the stop, then reverse, maybe half the way to the stop, then reverse. Maybe it even goes a little bit further and narrowly misses the stop, 75% or more of the way before finally reverting. Well, if that happens, you could just close at break even whenever it comes back. Then you can move on to the next trade. However, when I find that I wait for entries like this, normally a lot of them, meaning at least 50% or more, start to bounce immediately. And then say it goes straight down here, narrowly misses the take profit, then it starts going sideways, then I could just close there, and then that's I won 75% of whatever it was I risked. So let's say I risked $20,000 on this, I could make $15,000 on that, and this usually happens pretty quickly. With the exception of the past month, things have been much slower the past month. Things have gone sideways. I'm break even the past month. There was 3 weeks where I didn't even take a single trade because everything was going sideways. And then we looked back on all the trading opportunities that I didn't take. Had I taken them, all of them would have done one of two things. They would have either ranged sideways for 3 weeks or more before then going to the stop loss, or they would have, within about a couple of days to a week, they would have gone to the stop loss. Every trading opportunity I would have taken. Every opportunity I would have taken. I was able to save myself from wiping out my $180,000 of gains. And I made a whole YouTube video on this like a month ago. I was able to save myself from chipping away any of the losses. Up until last week, I took a small loss on a GBP CAD trade. I was risking $40,000 on that, and I lost like 10K, like 12K, I think. But now I've already made back like half of that because I'm in open profit, like 6K almost. So now it was almost kind of a break even, maybe, sort of, depending on how you look at it. So it is what it is, right? I'm able to prevent losing a lot of my profits during most times where prices going sideways and people are just trading anyway, even when they know there's like the opportunity is probably not the best, but they're getting cold feet. They feel like they have to trade. I reserve my trading opportunities and my trading actions for just the types of setups that, in my opinion, present a very high percentage chance of working out and a very low percentage chance of not working out. What that means is I need some volatility. I need price to make these swings up to like triumphant higher highs before I enter trades. If price is doing some shit like this where it's just kind of going sideways, I have no interest in risking my hard-earned money. And even if I did enter a trade, I would only be willing, like comfortable to risk like maybe 5K, maybe 10K. But like if I wait for trades like this right here, trades like these are so good because you can risk a large amount. And I'm just saying this from experience. I'm not saying you should do this. This is just non-financial advice, general information for education and entertainment purposes only. So I just find that it's better to just wait for great trading opportunities. Then I can risk 30, 40, 50, 60 grand. There are trades that I've called in the Nick's Trades group here. You can scroll back and see like for the past few months, right? I started this the end of March. There are trades in here that I have made like ridiculous amounts of money on. Here's one of the trades I called. So this was at the end of April. So this is that AUD JPY trade I was telling you about. This is it when it was $13,000 in profit on the daily. And this is that trade that I told you that one of my clients made like $100,000 on. Here's what it looked like whenever we sold, just so you can kind of get a feel for what these opportunities look like. Price had spiked up here. We entered like somewhere along here. Then it had a spike against us. Then it started going into a lot of profit. So the entry was like somewhere in there. The trade was structured something like this. Look at how sexy, quote unquote, this looks. Stop loss was like that. Target was something like that. Like, whenever you find trading opportunities like that where there's a lot of volatility, meaning like there's a lot of momentum, there's prices swooshing around back and forth with huge moves, that's when things are fun. And also that's when things are easy. And guess what you have to do? You have to not be a little bitch, and you just have to wait. You just have to literally be patient. If you're patient for that, you have almost no work to do. You just set your alert. You go play golf every day for 3 weeks. And then whenever you finally get an alert, oh, there's a trade, you can enter. It's so much easier, in my opinion, to do it this way. That's why after 8 years of trading and during my 6 years of profitable trading, I've found like the best solutions to most things are usually the simple solutions. It's a philosophy concept called Occam's razor. And in trading, that truly applies here. I used to do so much, and it worked. Keep in mind, it worked for years. Now I do like 5% of the stuff I used to do. I literally do almost nothing. I don't even use support and resistance anymore. I use arrows now. I just use these 2 arrow tools, and I don't even, it's so funny like how little you actually need to do to be profitable, in my opinion, from my experience. Just saying that. I'm not, like I said again, I'm not telling you should do anything specific. I'm just saying like this is what's worked for me. And so by waiting for stuff like this, that worked right out. You could see if there was this, so look, the stop was at 106. So I guess, yeah, right there, pretty much where I put the stop loss right there. It was at 106. So this, yeah, then it went right at profit. The guy that added to this, like, right, he had similar entry, like somewhere in here. And then he added to this up here, like when it made a new high. That's why he made so much, because he was risking like, roughly the same as me. At that time, I was risking anywhere from like 30 to 60K per trade. His first position was roughly that, but he added when price like spiked up even further because he thought it was very likely to work. I think he had like 300K in the account, and then he risked almost 100K. He risked like 90K, and that was able to fall and go down. I mean, it's crazy. Like, and this I closed halfway to the target, right? A little less than halfway. This would have been almost $30,000 of profit had I actually held it, and it would have worked out too. That was kind of painful, because let's look what would have happened. I closed it like way up. Oh my God, this is let me just exit the replay mode here. Yeah, so I closed it right like up here. If it would have gone all the way to the profit target, that would have been like a $30,000 trade. And if my client who took that trade as well in the Nick's Trades group, when I called it, if he had held that, that would have been like, oh my gosh, something disgusting, like $200,000 of profit or something ridiculous. All I'm saying is these are the kinds of things that are possible. Maybe not probable for you since most people lose money, but these are the kinds of things that are possible once you kind of know what you're doing and you get enough experience to do it. Trading is pretty simple as long as you keep it simple. Otherwise, you fall victim to this illusion that things have to be sort of like super like complicated and like, nah, bro, it's a secret. And this is what the banks are doing. And people get into all these conspiracy theories and they get into all this like, they play these mental gymnastics with themselves. Like the market makers were trying to stop me out because of this, and this. And I somehow the institutions and banks and market makers never seem to have bothered me over the past few years trading. I don't know. Like price just goes up or it goes down. If you get enough experience seeing the same stuff happen over and over again, even if there is all this wild, fugazi mental gymnastics framework of like the banks manipulating everyone, even if that's the case, like if you get enough experience, you can like recognize certain patterns and things that everything kind of lines up where you're like, okay, I feel like this is going to work. Yeah, I've got a good feeling about this trade. You can rely on those quote unquote feelings and intuitions, provided you have enough applied experience to demonstrate that those things work. Then you can just rely on it. Then trading is even easier than it is whenever you're starting. That makes sense to probably most people. Like it's going to be a little bit more difficult at first, but then once you get experience doing it, it gets a lot easier. It's just a matter of seeing the same stuff over and over again. Those are all the setups. Everything else, in my opinion, is just going sideways. To you, maybe you see it different. You think price is going to go up or down. I don't really see anything else. I see so even on GBP JPY, right? We're still floating at the high. It's similar to NZD JPY. I need it to go up further up here to like 205, and then I'll probably look to sell, maybe, depending on the situation. GBP NZD, nothing. GBP USD, nothing. NZD USD, I don't see anything. Nothing on these pairs. We've got to the end of all these. We'll see what happens. USD JPY, I think she'll go up, but not enough to where I would buy. So far, we're just kind of sitting here in a range with making higher lows. I've got an alert. I don't even have an alert up here. I think other JPYs look better. As far as Bitcoin, I'm still BALLS deep on BTC longs, like from tokens that I'm holding. I think that pretty soon here, maybe I'll be wrong. I don't know, right? I think pretty soon here we're gonna crack above the highs, like 75K or more, and then we'll have a little smooth run up here to 100K. Maybe, who knows, right? But I think still looking good for holding. So I'm just still holding all of my Bitcoin, and I have a little bit of Algorand and things like that. So yeah, we're looking good. But that represents the analysis for today. Again, the stuff that I'm in already or going to go in is GBP CAD. I think we're going to fall. CHF JPY. I think at some point, if we can go up first, price might fall. And then NZD JPY, I think if price could go up first to like 98.0, then I think it would be a good location to get in. This could play out without me. If she opens today, the market opens in like 6 hours from here in Texas where I'm at. It's Sunday today. If she just goes straight down from here, cool. I'll miss it. It's fine. It is what it is. But if we can pop up here further, like 98.0, that would be a great, would be a sexy entry with this sort of similar risk structure. If you'd like to follow my trades live, the actual trades I take, consider joining Nick's Trades. It's on my website. You can click the link in the description that takes you to my website. It's just the Nick's Trades product. Right now, it's $250 a month. I'm going to be raising the price to $500 a month at some point in the future. Whether that's a week or a month or a year from now, I don't know exactly. It kind of depends on how many clients we get because we've got hundreds of clients already. A lot of people are loving this product. I provide in here a lot of like different things like this right here. You can see I send like long audio messages showing every single thing that I'm doing. I show like terminal P&L history. This was one of the accounts where you could see it had $150,000 deposit, showing the profit and everything from when I started the account. This was another one of the accounts I was calling in here. I pretty much doubled this account almost. The deposit, you can see it was $100,000. And then with profit, even with swaps and commissions, which are almost nothing, I doubled this account over the course of like a few months. This was actually 1 month. Look at this. Well, if there was further trades further back, but I mean, I literally won every single trade on this account. That's what I'm saying. Like, my win rate is pretty high. Then there was this account, which was started at $50,000, and then I grew it to a little over 110. So I doubled this account over the course of like, looks like a month or so. You can see I lost a few trades up here, but then I won a bunch down here. So the win rate was still very high. This one right here was the best trade of my trading career. So this was back in April of this year, a couple months ago. 60 standard lots, and this one, it had about a $60,000 risk, and I closed it before the profit target for like, for 80% of what I would have made. So like 50K instead of 60K. But yeah, this was me showing back here. I've made $180,000 in profit the past 6 weeks. It was crazy. It's been a really crazy year so far. But without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video. I tried to, go into detail with all the nuance and everything as much as I could. I really love making these videos. I love running this channel. I love running Mission FX, and I love the fact that you took the time to sit here and watch this video. So thank you. If you like this video, remember to do whatever the hell you want. And if you have something to say about this video, make sure to still just do whatever you want. And if you want to join the free Telegram channel, then that's cool. It's legal for you to join it. You could be in there in a few seconds right now by clicking the link in the description or the pinned comment or whatever. But I hope you have a great rest of the day and a great rest of the trading week. And perhaps I'll see you in one of my future videos. Cheers, my friend. Hope you have a great day.